I have had this on since about 12:53. It is right now 2:33 in the morning a.m. East Coast, like I said, New York City, New York. And we are still looking to see at what level are we up to just now. It has been less than 2 hours. And like I said, you could just basically do whatever you want. You could watch a movie, you know, have something to eat if you're hungry. You know, like I said, you have 2 to 3 hours to do whatever you want, basically. Surf the web, you know, hopefully watch my YouTube videos, maybe subscribe, even though I'm not, you know, on top of things like others. But I mean, I'm willing to talk about anything when it comes down to video games, sports. I'm a big Yankee fan, just so you guys know. Love New York Yankees. I love, that's about like the only team that's actually worth anything, because every other team in New York basically is pretty much garbage. I mean, the Knicks, the Nets, the Rangers, the Islanders, the Jets, the Giants. You know, but I am a big Yankee fan. I don't like the Mets. My dad is actually a Met fan, so that's kind of a little problems when it becomes Subway Series time. I am a Jets fan, but I only watch the football season when it gets to the playoffs, because, you know, that's where I actually look and see who's there, and I just pick a team out of the, you know, the championship final, or the semifinals, the finals, whatever it may be. Okay, anyway, like I said, we're back again on Skyrim. We're gonna see what level I'm up to. Like I said, it's been less than 2 hours. Possibly an hour and maybe 40 minutes, an hour and 30 or so. So we're just waiting to see, as we see my shadow still moving. I still have the cursor on both the enemies. Because the last time I checked, I was level 69, and I think that was about maybe 20 minutes ago or so. As you see in the upper left hand, it says level up available. You know, but this is an easy way to get your sneak skill basically up, either by, you could do the start off in Helg and probably get yourself around up to level 90, because that's where I was actually able to get it to. But it took about 4 to 5 hours, and that's a little bit too much time when you want to do some other things in Skyrim, you know. Okay, we just got a sneak increase to 76, level 76 in less than 2 hours. Why? Because I have the Thief Stone and I have the Ethereal Crown, which adds another 15% due to the Lover Stone active. So 35% in the sneaking boost, basically. That's the best thing you can basically do, because this will actually make it seem like maybe 2.5 hours is where we're looking at now, basically. Like I said, we're not even at 2 hours yet, so by the 2 hour mark we should probably be around level 80. So then another half an hour and you should be able to get at least the next 20 levels. Maybe a little bit longer, 45 minutes to maybe the 3rd hour, but by then you'll actually be at level 100 on Sneak for a second time, or for your first time, depending on how you do it. Now for me it's going to be the second time, because I'm trying to get up to the higher levels and trying to continue working on things. You know, to give you some background, I joined the Stormcloaks. The only reason why is because I kind of think that maybe Ulfric is a lot smarter than what he tends to give up. I mean, he fought Torrig in a traditional Nord fight, basically. Yes, he did use the thum. He shouted the crap out of Torrig, and Torrig died. But the thing is, when you hear what he has to say, he kind of has more of a presence than Tullius, or even Rika, or whatever her name is. You know, and on top of that, I mean, I'm not sexist. Let's make that straight. I think that what's her name from Solitude? Okay, whatever her name is, Jarl Elisif, right? I think she would make a really good leader, but the problem is she doesn't have the guts. And once again, I am not sexist, but from what I've read and what I've done and what I've played, she doesn't have the guts to actually be a good leader, because the thing is, okay, the Empire takes over, but the problem is we're still taking it from the Aldmeri Dominion. We're bending over basically, and we're taking it up the shaft. Why? Because the Aldmeri Dominion are our basically daddies when it comes down to the game. On the other hand, you know, Ulfric wants to unite Skyrim, but in a different way, and then on top of that, throw the Aldmeri Dominion out. I kind of wish that this type of game, like, you know, it has a lot of questions and stuff, but it would have been great if you could have had a united Skyrim front versus the Aldmeri Dominion. Although it would be kind of weird that just one person, the Dragonborn, us, Dovahkiin, can basically shift the war in any favor he wants. You know, I mean, it would be nice, maybe another Dragonborn, or, you know, Merak, you know, came back and helped, you know, in the fight. But of course, sometimes it only takes one person. And that's also in life. It takes just one person to build you up. But it also takes one person to tear you down. And the thing is, sometimes you have to understand that sometimes your greatest ally could be your greatest enemy, and your greatest enemy can become one of your biggest allies. In Skyrim, it's just like that. I mean, depending who you pick, who are you gonna fight for? The Stormcloaks or the Imperial? You know? Do you want to help Ulfric take over Skyrim, become the king of the High King of Skyrim? Or do you want Elisif, who is basically, seems like a puppet of Tilius, to become the High Queen of Skyrim? Now, in all Skyrim lore, it's always been a king. Oblivion, we had a king. In the older games, I'm really not too sure. So if you guys can basically leave a message in the bottom and just let me know who were the kings in possibly the first one and the second one and all. But, or queen, whichever it may be. But like I said, it depends on what the game has done before. Oblivion, you had a king. In the Shivering Isles, you had a king who was Sherograth, who was nuts, I guess. But over here, what do you want, a king or a queen? And the thing is, you have to see on all sides. When it comes down to it, Ulfric, he's his own man. He knows what he wants to do. He knows what he wants to accomplish. Elisif, on the other hand, is just taking orders from General Tilius. And General Tilius is like the guy who basically speaks on her behalf. But the thing is, you're just a general. You're not a king. You're basically a, what is that? A B actor maybe, or a C actor, or just a guy on the side who thinks he knows what's good for the Empire. You know, so you have to really think of it in those type of ways, you know. I have played the Imperial part. I have given, you know, I have killed Ulfric, which kind of was underwhelming in a way, and, you know, I've sided with the Empire before, but in this playthrough, I believe the Stormcloaks more. I've always thought that the Stormcloaks had more of a, you know, more character development than the Empire. I mean, come on, General Tilius, he's just a barking dog. He's an Aldmeri Dominion. To be nice, he's an Aldmeri Dominion bitch, basically. You know, he doesn't mind taking it up or getting reamed up the cornhole by the Aldmeri Dominion. And you have to understand, oh, come on, Aldmeri Dominion, really? You're gonna take their side? You're gonna be with them? not really that great of a character per se. Okay, we're up to, I believe, level 78. Okay, I'm gonna try to get this up to at least level 80, and then I could probably start this quest or just run out and do some other things that I've been actually doing, which is basically getting my smithing up as quickly as I can, because I'm at level 98 on the smithing side, so I'm trying to make some ebony or daedric bows, which will basically push me over the edge and possibly get me level 99 and 100. I'm also building a house with Winstead Manor, which is basically a little southeast of Solitude. I also have to see Falk Firebreed about Falk Firebread, or whatever his name is, about the resurrection of Patoma, because that's the part I already did, the beating of Patoma when they were trying to get her, but she's still around, so I gotta take care of her spirit, basically. Other than that, I have a bunch of quests that are open. I mean, have you seen the pause menu? You've actually seen that there are a lot of quests that I'm doing. Okay, sneak level, we're up to 78. We're gonna stop right here. Just this way, we can just take a quick look. I got the Golden Claw, some stuff for basically the Thieves Guild, which I feel that the Thieves Guild and I don't know, I mean, this game, when you were in the Thieves Guild in Oblivion, they had better quests. When you had the Dark Brotherhood in Oblivion, some of the quests were way better. I mean, over here, it's kind of like they watered it down a bit, but made it slightly simpler so you could just jump into it, you know? And then, of course, we have the miscellaneous, which is purchase a house in Solitude. Yeah, I can do that, although all I have is 6,000 gold, basically. So I will leave actually here now. Let's see how many levels, though, I actually am able to acquire. Now, like I said, you should bring magic up, because the more magic you have, the better you can use the transmute spell in alteration. Okay, so just to look at me, I'm at level 42, and my stats are like this. Sneak is of course 78, light armor 52, archery 49, one-handed 57, two-handed 27. I don't really care too much about two-handed skills, but I would rather just maybe go to one of the teachers and learn it. A block 24, I don't use a shield, I use magic. Heavy armor 17, smithy 98, enchanting 44, alteration 38, restoration 18, destruction 34, conjuration 16, illusion 21, alchemy 20, speech 55, pickpocket 81, and of course last but not least lockpicking at level 59. Basically in the lockpicking perks tree you don't have to fill it up at all. I mean, unless you really want to, but if you're doing a thief build, I think pickpocketing, sneaking, speechcraft, those three are like really important, because you want to be able to steal, and on top of that get some extra money on what you do, and also sneak. This way nobody will basically be around to see you. So I'm gonna exit. I think I just knocked something. Okay guys, you didn't listen? Okay, good. Okay, so I'm gonna leave Bleak Falls Barrow, and I'm gonna go back to, let's see, it's nighttime. I'll go to Whiterun, see if I can buy some more iron ore and silver ore, so I can continue to use transmute and continue to make it into gold and make jewelry. Although I think now at the high level, ebony is possibly the best thing you can do. And to get danger cards, you can take one from the Brotherhood of Fighters. You know, over here in Yorvaskir, which is right over there, right there. It looks like a upside down boat. They have a Daedra card in there and silver sometimes. You would also, if you want to, you know, do the smithing quickly, you know, jewelry is one of the best ways. And up here
I know you.
in Dragon's Reach, they have silver ignits that are already set up and ready. All you have to just, you know, use. I hate going through the front because that dark elf continues to bother me. So I go through here, even though the dark elf will still bother me, but it gives me more of a chance to actually get in and get out. Maybe with her just, you know, spouting some garbage and I just, you know, throw myself from a high ledge or something. Okay.
Heard they're reforming the Dawn Guard.
Yes, we know that they're reforming the Dawn Guard. I just haven't decided to join that because, of course, when you join the Dawn Guard, you meet the most famous female who you would love to marry, and that is, of course, Serana. I will probably end up using a mod that will allow you to actually marry Serana, because there really isn't that many desirable women in Skyrim to deal with, except for probably Silja, who lives in, let's see, let's get the map up and close that up, and she lives right over here. I mean not Darkwater Cross, what am I doing? Over here in Shorestone, Silja, she's a breaker of stone, and she actually has some nice upper body strength. Of course, that is up to you if you want to use that. Of course, you know, it's to each his own.
Can we get a moment to ourselves? Leave me.
Oh, shut up. A little pain in the ass. Alright, this is what I usually do. I wait out here. I'll let 1 hour go out. And here we go. If she's not inside, it makes it a lot simpler because I can close the door.
You are not supposed to be in here.
Doesn't anybody sleep here? I mean, come on, people, go to bed already. Come on. Although, probably whoever's watching this is saying the same thing to me, that I should go to bed, but yeah, I want to steal some Ignots first. Okay, everything looks quiet. I'm surprised Bulgrove is not in bed. Okay, close that, and there you are. Silver Ignots. I would also take the money and, of course, the potent paralysis potion. Some more money. Let's see what's in his, more money. Okay. And now this is where basically I have to see how things are. And like I said, with silver, you make some extra jewelry. You can raise your stats quicker because it's all about the value of what you're making. A lot of people say, "Oh, just make dwarven," you know, I'm running out of battery power. Everybody says about making dwarven bows, but they're not really worth that much. They're only worth like 200, maybe $300 a piece, and that's, you know, for low levels to do that. Yeah, okay, fine, but then you have to actually get yourself up to, what is that, level 30 in the smithing department. Give me one moment while I put the controller to charge at the same time while I play. I'm using a phone cord to charge. I kind of wish I did have a cam, this way I could actually do more in terms of the whole YouTube thing of showing my face. This way everybody could be like, "Oh my god, who is that? Is that Batman? Or is that just another lunatic who basically doesn't know anything about games?"
Let me guess.
I do know a lot about games. The thing is, I am a Sony person. I love Sony. PlayStation 4, P3, P2, P1, Vita, PSP. I have an Xbox 360, but I got that from a former boss of mine because he was moving and I guess he just didn't want to have the 360 anymore, so he gave it to me for like 200 bucks. And you know, Fable, you know, some other games on it, but I'm mostly a Sony guy. I got about 30 or 40 games for the PlayStation 4 already. I got over 120 games for the PlayStation 3, over 120 for the PlayStation 2, and only 40 for the PlayStation 1. For the PSP I got about 20 games maybe, and for the Vita I have about 5 games. And I have the downloaded game of The Last of Us on the PlayStation 4 right now. And here we go, let's see, I have 98 in Smithy. Let's go to jewelry, we have silver ignite, so we can do, like I said, you want to go for the highest value. This is the highest value I have. Doesn't really move it much, but you know, every little bit basically helps, even though I'm still at 98. Yay. Alright, so I'm gonna have to possibly start going around collecting more silver ore, iron ore. You know, this is my little house right here, which basically is just a shack to begin with. But like I said, the best places to basically get ore, iron ore of course, is you want to go over here to Riften, and we're gonna go to Misty Keep just because that's like the closest point. There's a blacksmith. You can go into his house. You can steal all his iron ignites, iron ore, and leather, and all that stuff, and you could actually try to make a go at it right there. But like I said, iron doesn't really fetch you much. You know, so I'm gonna go to his house. And in the famous words of John Cena, you can't see me. And I also have that WWE 2K18. I will probably do maybe a video on that. Basically, just to show you what me and my friend have actually done in the game, in which we basically took over the brands. We're creating our own brands out of it, and on top of that, we're also just, you know, having fun with the game. We do our own storylines. We don't do WWE type storylines, which are basically old and played out already.
He's teaching me all about being a blacksmith.
And that's fantastic that he's teaching you so much stuff, including how to get robbed. Okay. I'm gonna basically smith these items so I can have more things for the house.
You've been a good friend.
Get on my way, Balamond.
Perform miracles with steel, eh? What brings
Nobody
you to
gives a damn
Balamond
about
today?
your steel.
Repair? Purchase?
I just want to use this. Okay, thank you. 16. Okay, so 6. 5 of these. And 5 of these. Okay, I know I get some iron from in, some silver from in there, so. Okay, that's done with. Okay, other than that, I think I have steel from Imperial garbage. Let's see what's worth the most. This. Yeah, done. Oh, we have leather now, so we could use it. We could use hide. I don't know, for bracers that doesn't really work or whatever. I mean, we're gonna try to get this up to 100, not by tonight, but probably by the next time, when I say hello once again to you guys. on YouTube.
Nothing like the smell of a white
look,
hot
I want to say
blade.
this first
Looking
before
for
I get
the
off.
finest weapons and
I'm
armor.
fairly new to YouTube, and I don't mind if you people don't subscribe or do. It's up to you. It's what you believe in. It's your opinion, and I'm not gonna force an opinion or an issue on any of you guys. If you want, you can subscribe to the channel. You can leave if you don't even have to subscribe, you could just leave stuff on it, ask me about anything, and I'll try to help you out in the games and whatever. And I'm also here just to basically talk, basically just for you guys to maybe get an idea of on a game or something. I have lots of games. I'm mostly an RPG guy. I do have Persona 5. I got Wild Hunt, The Witcher. I'm also on the PlayStation 3 with Trails of Cold Steel. Games like that, So like I said, any type of question you might have on a game, just leave a comment. I'll answer them. I have time. I can answer any type of question and I will read all your comments. I would not say anything bad, basically. I mean, like I said, it's what you guys want to know, If you want to bring up sports, you can bring that up too, because I do have pretty much knowledge about sports and things like that. So, like I said, if you want, you can subscribe. If you don't, it's okay. I'm not going to hold a grudge against you. But do leave a comment. Ask any type of questions you have on any type of video game, and I will be there to answer it. I will be there to read your comments. So, for my last few seconds, I want to wish everybody a good night on the East Coast, on the Central, and on the mountain range. Probably people in the West might actually be in bed or up, still playing. I am an avid gamer. I do love Grand Theft Auto. I will be getting PlayStation Plus very soon so I can jump back into the whole Grand Theft Auto Online type thing, because I love that. So I look forward to seeing you guys out there. Good night, have a good one, and basically, keep on gaming.